Hello and welcome to episode 60 of the Talking Wednesday podcast. Dexterity Fox joined by Jake Puckchef41 as always. Yeah, 60. It's weird, isn't it, when these numbers start racking up?
Yeah, it's strange. Like you put up me through this long and I haven't been killed yet. Even I have done something where he's gone, what's wrong with this audio file? Why is this? And I think I've had it twice. Give you access
to the Sheffield Wednesday Twitter, and then you just put things in lowercase and old-fashioned smiley faces, and then you don't use the hashtag when it's something that could easily just use the hashtag and build up the profile. Yeah, and I'm just messaging you going,
it's like you're telling me off everything I did on Saturday.
Yeah, no, exactly. You've done well though, mate. You've done well. Yeah. You're getting, because we are actually recording on a Sunday because Soph's sister's just had another child, so new little baby boy. We're gonna go and see him on the usual podcast day because my schedule's that tight. Basically, now I'm not having a day off this week. If you class the podcast as this, because we're doing it back in our old slot on the Sunday just today. With all of that. Because I did work, I unfortunately was working Saturday, which means I missed. I hate it when it's a Saturday work day.
I did actually see your tweet and go, what the hell?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, it would be, because obviously I rotate the work days and things like that. It would be this one.
Yeah.
That I missed.
It's actually really funny. If you follow Dex on Twitter, you'll know when he's on his like little bit of checking our time, because you see the inevitable tweet of, oh, okay, here we go, and then you just saw the tweet going, what's this?
Well, no, it's because I was working on Saturday and I looked, and it was like, all right, Wednesday kickoff lineup's cool, and it was really busy. It was a manic Saturday, so I was like, okay, let's have a look, and then all of a sudden it was 4-0, and I was like, hang on. What's this? What's going on?
A little bit like that, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. But because of that situation with the Saturday, I can't pull myself away from Tuesday night. So unfortunately, housekeeping, there's no Dexterity Watch this Tuesday, guys. Apologies if you like the Tuesday routines, but I can't pull myself away from that.
He's gonna go watch some football. Let him have a break. He can give a pitch updates. How did the pitch look? Where did
I've got crap signal in the ground though. You know, that's the problem. That's why I never really tweet. And also, as I said, you know, that's I never do the night. I never film the night matches usually. That's why I've never done a vlog of a night match, because it's usually, but it is getting lighter. So. Nah, see, it'll still be too dark because the camera quality. Because I don't take a full DSLR in. Because one of my mates who used to take his camera in, he told me that they started getting funny at the ground about that. Yeah. Hang on, you feel the air for a minute. I've got a sneeze coming.
Yeah, they have started getting funny because what they were basically doing, some of the vloggers were filming the pitch, and then it was getting back to the clubs and then the EFL, and they're saying technically you're copywriting on our stuff, kind of thing, because you're showing the map, which you're not. Because it's not copywritten by a thing. Because if they did that, everybody who posted on Twitter, like a picture of a goal or something, or filming the pitch, would get done. But because you've got a proper setup, like a proper camera, they're going, you're making money on it, kind of thing. Because they a proper camera.
You're not really. You know, it's also because they use the thing of league rights and things like that. It's stupid. It's stupid. But they will be the first ones to come to you if you end up actually having more followers and could bring business to the club. Yeah. So they'll be the first ones to go, do you want to do something? Now you could actually raise our social platform. So it's just getting on the ground.
That's what they did with Dapper at Donny. That's exactly how Dapper got his foot in the door.
That's what I'm saying. Like, clubs need to make. You shouldn't have to build it. If you're passionate about your club, you shouldn't. Your club should be able to get you involved without like all of that. I've always thought that. You know, if you're passionate and you want to make high quality content,
and if you actually look, there's a lot more clubs doing that now, which is nice to see. It's just I think we're still stuck in that kind of old school way of doing it of Wednesday, because I saw Chedno Gamer was at Hillsborough, right, supporting Cambridge. Do you not know Chedno Gamer? Chedno's FIFA player.
No.
He was at the game.
I know Stephen Tries was at the game.
Yes.
I saw something about that on there, so that's going to be a video soon.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting.
Yeah. How's your week
Anyway, yeah, as I said, busy. Gutted to miss that 6. Oh, I can't believe I missed the 6-0. It's been. I don't know. It's all a blur at the minute, man. Honestly, when you ask me every week now, I'm like, where's the blur? But it's all right. Yeah, I'm getting into a good little routine of it. Few more weeks to push before we've got this sort of like end of month thing. What about yourself?
Yeah. Busy. Sorting stuff out with the house again, as per usual, but I'm painting this week, which could go quite fun. So I'm hoping there might be a video of me on the floor, because I promised my little one that I'll paint a bedroom, because she's been asking me for ages, and she finally picked the colour, and
she's
pink.
the boss. And she's the boss.
Of course, I live with 2 women. They're always going to be the boss. Until there's another little me in male form, I think I'm permanently going to be outnumbered.
Yeah, but knowing your luck, mate, I don't know, it's lovely either way. But knowing your luck, you're getting another girl.
Knowing my luck, I'll get twins.
Yeah, twin girls.
And I'll be like,
can you imagine how outnumbered would you be?
Oh no, that. Oh no,
yeah.
She's already sarcastic. She turned around to me. What did she turn around to me and say this morning? She came up to me. Excuse me, who do I talk about not charging my tablet? Like, me? Well, why wasn't it charged? I was like, because I forgot. Well, that's not good enough. You need to go on the step. I was like, uh-oh, I've not woken up yet. It's 6:30 in the morning, McKenna.
Bless. I found a chase pop this week for my nerd friends out there. Because I was nearly late to this podcast because I was stomping around a shop and I found the new Batman Oswald Cobblepot chase, but I never find them in the flesh for retail price, and I was like, chase pop.
You were just like straight into the basket.
Yeah, pretty much. Because staff always rob them, and I'm like, why? Just let people have them. Because also people buy them if they don't know them because they think, that'll be worth money. They're not always worth money. At the minute, the chase of that is less than the regular, but I just think it's cool to have in a collection. Yeah. I've not actually seen the film yet, but I've heard it's good, and I haven't
seen it yet, but my other half made a good joke. He was in Twilight where he was a vampire, and now he's a bat.
Yeah, no, yeah. It'll be interesting because I'm hearing good things about it. I'm not massively a DC person, but I really like Gotham. So I really like when they did that TV series. So if it can go along those lines, I know they're doing a Penguin series as well with this Penguin, which is why I was like, that'd be a cool.
There's also talk of another game coming out soon.
No, there is anyway. We're waiting for the new one. Anyway.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that because I absolutely loved Arkham Asylum.
Should we talk about football?
Yep.
Timestamp here, boys. Don't forget. Right. Okay. So one match to talk about this week: Sheffield Wednesday playing Cambridge United. Calm Punk, talk me through it.
I was shell-shocked with how fast we started this game. We just came out the block like a team on a mission. It was so good to see Lee Gregory starting, and he was absolutely superb for the entire game. And if Berahino didn't get his goals, he probably would have got man of the match because he was really good at pulling the strings. First goal, a ball in by Gregory, goes in. It's an own goal. The player who
as well.
It was a good finish actually.
Top corner.
Yeah. The player who lost the ball to Gregory then put it in his own net. And then Barry Bannon just saw that little pocket of space when no one took the ball and went, right, that's mine. Give it here. And does what Barry Bannon does. He don't do tap-ins, let's be honest. And he's on his most goals he's had for the club since he's been here, on 8 now. He has a cheeky little bet going with Patterson. So whoever wins that got to do money for charity kind of thing. There's a good little atmosphere with the club at the minute. And you're like, right, how many more can we get? Because every time we attacked, we looked threatening. Berahino had a great chance. Spinned, turned, good save by the keeper. Second one, he had the same thing. It was identical of what he just did, but just kept it a bit lower and goal. And we said on previous pod when he had Donny that once he starts scoring, his confidence is going to be up. And my God, his confidence is up. The corner came in for the fourth. I felt sorry for, I believe it was Gibson, took the shot, had his hands on his head like, yes, oh no. And they go to Berahino. And you see Berahino going away in celebration. And Gibson's like, oh,
really, mate?
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. It was really funny. But 4-0 up by half time. And we were cruising. They really didn't turn up. And it was surprising to me because they gave us such a good game when we played them at their place.
Yeah.
But we are starting to seem like we're a different animal now because we're getting players coming back who are fit and starting to see that kind of thing. Second half, Byers does his usual, I want in on the goal action. Again, it's another one that we said before. So glad he's our player because he's really just fitted into that midfield. Name a better midfield three at the moment in League One. And I think everyone's saying that one.
We've got the best team in League One on paper. Right, and that's the thing. It was a lot of it has been about gelling and getting them around and actually getting them to work with the quality we've had. And now we're actually seeing what the quality in this team can bring out in this league. And it just needs to be a case of putting a run together. What I was saying last podcast was, I don't really care that. Well, I'd care obviously we lost against Lincoln. The point will be to bounce back.
We did that.
I've said it. I said it. It happened after Rotherham. And we put 6 past Cambridge. It's all about the bounce back and the mentality in the team to just keep going. And you know what? People will moan. There was people on social media moaning that, oh, well, we're out of the playoffs anyway. Because we're not technically because we've got games in hand.
We've got games in hand. And
yeah. Carry on.
It's that whole thing. We've got games in hand. And it's also that other thing that you got with the way we're getting certain players back now because we've seen all this week. Mendes Lang back in training. Winder back in training. Dean back in training. Dunkley back in training. These players are coming back at the right time now.
Iofa's been on the bench as well for the last 3 matches.
Iofa played. He came on.
Well, but he's been on the bench as in he's been in that matchday squad.
Yeah.
And as soon as our defence starts being a bit shaky again, if it does, you can just bring Iofa back into it and you've got a refreshed defence.
And the thing I like... Yeah, go on.
It's just nice to have the luxury of having a player like him to just keep on the bench because we're doing all right, you know?
And the nice thing I liked about that 5th goal was how unselfish Saido Berahino was. He could have got his hat-trick earlier and he just lays it off to him because he's in a better position. And that's a sign of a player that knows the intelligence that I could have the shot and get the glory, but he's in a better position, let's just give it him. And he got it. He got his hat-trick. His first hat-trick in 6 years. Kind of thing, I think, since the Premiership I've seen. And he deserved it. He at Premier League. I
wasn't saying a thing.
You didn't have to say anything. I just saw the smirk in the corner of my monitor. And he absolutely deserved it. He ran the show. And I've seen some people go, oh, it's only Cambridge. But they're still in the same league as us and they're not a bad little team. They've done quite well considering they've just come up. And it was just so nice to see a team buzzing. Once
I can't believe
Gregory went
them not
off,
a bad little team.
Yeah, I'm going to get hate for it. I know.
Also, that little team drew with us.
I know they did.
Their place. So, people can't say that, right? They're not a little... they're not like... I know what you mean. Just move on. Just move on.
But the thing that got me, once we let Gregory come off because he wanted to stay on. He was really upset he was coming off. He was like, I want to be in the goals here. Canberra came on and it changed it. We lost that kind of momentum. And Canberra did actually stay on side a couple of times, which was nice. He had a little bit of an air shot. But we had Hutch come off as well, who looked like he was carrying a knock. But if Iofa's coming back fit, I think he just slips straight into that position Tuesday night and you just let Hutch have the rest. Palmer didn't play. And I've seen people going, oh, this is why you keep Palmer out. Palmer's had a very good season.
Yeah.
Palmer's been very good this year. And
scored, from...
Yeah.
There's
a Palmer bias, though.
Right. I'm not saying we know it all. I'm not saying all of that. But, some of the stuff we've said on the podcast recently about Berahino being a confidence player, that sort of thing, about Barry Bannon coming good if you're playing further forward, that stuff we've been saying for ages, and people have been blah, 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 blah. People are always going to be negative. They're going to go, oh, well, this team should be doing this with 7th in League One, can't it? Blah. I'm fed up of it now, man. Yep. We've been saying the stuff that's coming to fruition now for a while because we've tried to look at it we've tried to step back and take our Wednesday mentality of like we've got a bit of stick for in the past as a club for always thinking that we're at that level that we have fallen past in recent times, and we try to be a little bit more realistic with it, but also keep us grounded in the fact that we've got a bloody good team there and it will come good in certain situations, which is why we're patient with Darren Moore. And that is coming to fruition even if we don't get promoted this season, we've seen
got the building block for next season.
Exactly. After a catastrophic season last season, we have started the rebuild, and the rebuild is starting to cement now.
Where we started at the start of the season, transfer embargo, not allowed to spend any money, lost half the team. In theory, we shouldn't be where we are in that kind of situation. Most teams don't do a good rebuild like that.
Right, Man United just bought Ronaldo, Varane, and Sancho in a window, right? And they're not doing all right, and they're not doing amazingly well, are they? They bought arguably the best player in the world, depending on which side of the thing you fall on there.
Yeah, and you look
it's not played like that. The game's not played like that.
But look at the stats though. Well, 68% possession, 23 shots, 10 on target, 6 corners, and we had 9 fouls. But we took our chances really well, and that's what I liked about it. And yes, when Gregory went off, it did die a little bit, but we were still trying to see what we could get and try and get more. And the nice thing was the clean sheet. They did have a couple of chances where you're like, please don't do that. We want to keep the clean sheet.
When I was looking at the playback, the save at the end from Peacock Farrell as well, and the aggression that they got from him, even though we were battering them, it was like, it was still like screaming at the back line, like, hey, I ain't conceded here when we're this, because then it's just putting a dampener on my day, you know.
It's nice to have that work keeper well, because we had that with Westwood, and I don't think we've seen that enough with Bailey, and I think he's starting to get a bit of confidence in himself. And is it international March time, end of March? I know he'll go with is it Northern Ireland he play for or Republic? I can't remember. Northern, isn't it?
Northern.
Yeah.
It is Friday the 18th of March. I don't know if that's everybody though.
Because if that
and it looks like end of March. It looks like.
So if that's the case, that Cheltenham area, Wimbledon kind of thing, games.
Yeah.
Which the other thing is 11 goals at home in March already.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been doing well. Silly. You also read the statistics, which is usually the bit I do. After that, I have the statistics ready, and then you start reading them out. I was like, hey, my bit. Right.
I'm excited. I saw 6 goals.
Yeah. But anyway, a great day for Wednesday. The pain of not being there for a 6-0, but we must make the bag, especially now you have to remortgage your house to fill up your car.
Yep. Who was the last hat-trick at Hillsborough?
Atinuiu.
Who was the last hat-trick before Berahino?
Atinuiu.
No, it wasn't. Jordan Rhodes.
Was it?
Yes, Forest, City Ground.
Was Atinuiu's hat-trick away?
No. So Atti's is the last hat-trick at home against Norwich end of the season when we had Josh Lukai. And then Gary Monk, when we went to Forest and we were doing on that bit and we got to Christmas and we were third, Jordan Rhodes hat-trick.
Yeah, that was the day I was hanging out my arse, I remember. Because I didn't go. I slept through and it was half time. I looked and there'd been a Jordan. Yeah, I remember now.
That is a long time to not have a hat-trick.
Pain. I don't drink like I did then.
Maybe it's for the better.
It definitely is. It definitely is, mate. Right. League One review. So we'll look at the midweek matches. Wednesday didn't play in midweek. All the results pretty much went against us, unfortunately, which is why we found ourselves slipping out of the playoffs even with a 6-0 at the weekend. Sunderland beat Fleetwood 1-0. Fleetwood got a red card in that. Ipswich beat Lincoln 2-0. And Plymouth beat Wimbledon 2-0. So results entirely not going our way in midweek. Saturday was... Oh, no, there was another one as well. There was Crewe? Portsmouth?
Crewe versus Portsmouth, 3-1 Portsmouth.
3-1 Portsmouth, yeah. So, the Saturday fixtures, Accrington Stanley, who we go up against next, beat Charlton 2-1, even getting a red card in the process there, so they've got someone suspended for the next match. Sunderland beat... Yep. So, Sunderland beat Crewe 2-0, which is, again, not ideal for us. Burton beat Fleetwood 3-2. MK Dons and Wigan Athletic drew 1-1. Not a bad result that for us, actually, if you look at the playoffs picture. Ipswich Town and Portsmouth drew 0-0. Not bad again. Gillingham beat Doncaster 1-0. Oxford beat Shrewsbury 2-1, which is not ideal again, because we would need Oxford to slip a little bit. Wycombe drew with Rotherham. Not a bad result again, a point apiece that way. I mean, to be honest, Rotherham is so high up, we could have done with Rotherham beating Wycombe, really.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to catch Rotherham anyway.
They are on a little bit of a slip, Rotherham, now, though, because they got that loss against MK and now they got that draw. It's like they got Manager of the Month and Player of the Month, even though Darren Moore and Barry Bannon was up for it.
Yeah, well, I don't mind us not getting those awards if we crack on, you know.
Yep.
So Cheltenham beat Morecambe 3-1. We obviously beat Cambridge 6-0. Love seeing that. Plymouth beat Bolton 1-0.
That was
unfortunate. Lincoln City beat Wimbledon 2-0. A lot of red cards this weekend. Lincoln got a red card there.
The interesting one for me was the Burton Fleetwood, because Fleetwood were 2-0 up.
I didn't know that.
They were 2-0 up a lot.
I didn't know too much about this weekend. I am less factual than I usually am, because obviously
I will say something. I just realised I haven't put a league table in.
It's all right. Wednesday 7th, but it's getting quite tight, and we will talk about all of that on the next podcast.
Yep.
Right, into the news. Sheffield Wednesday have got a try listing at the minute. We have taken this from the Star. We are interested currently in Jack MacGyver. So, take it. The Star have basically said they were talking about Dunkley a bit, and they were talking about a behind the closed doors match, and then talking about Dunkley playing. And quote, as yet, an unknown forward is believed to have played in the match, as did 18-year-old Aberdeen playmaker Jack MacGyver, who is available to sign on a free transfer in the summer after Jim Goodwin's Dons decided against offering him a new deal. End quote. So, Wednesday are in for this young lad who doesn't even have a FIFA card, so that's just disrespectful for what we do on this one. Do you know much about this lad, Jake?
I don't.
I know a hell of a lot.
I've been trying to speak to somebody I know who's an Aberdeen fan, and he said he's good. He's a good player, but they said if he didn't sign his new deal, they knew he was going to be going. And if he gets the opportunity, he'll shine at a club.
Yeah, it's interesting because it says he's got an upcoming transfer. Oh no, he's come back off loan. Okay, so he's been at Huntly FC, and he's gone back to the Aberdeen FC reserves. So that means he'll be trialing there, and there's not really much information on him. He's 18. He born in 2003, so not got a FIFA card.
I think it's one of those things. The kind of player you look at, and we did it a lot this year, where we picked up players from like Southampton's academy who were out, and they're now thriving. I think if you look at what we're doing with the youth setup, this makes sense, because we are looking at players like this who can come in and change it. And as you've shown, if you play well and you step up like Brennan has and stuff, you will get in this team. And Darren Moore's not afraid of giving youngsters a try if he thinks they're ready and good enough.
Yeah, that's very true. Attacking midfield as well. It's nice to have a young. If we're bringing in younger players there, it'll probably just go straight in the academy.
He'll go straight into the academy, because I'm pretty sure Alex Hunt will make a big claim. Try and make a big claim next season.
When he comes back through,
we got him coming back. He just signed a new 1-year deal, and I don't think that was a case of us getting him signed a new 1 year just in case someone comes in for him in the summer. I think they want to see what he can do, because we're giving him a spell at Grimsby. Now we've got a spell at Oldham. And I'm hoping we come back and we see a player who's ready to go for that 13th thing and get in, because we've seen glimpses of him where he's very good and he got the technical ability. I think for him, he just needs to get a little bit more, bulk up a little bit and not get knocked off the ball. But playing in the Conference and now League Two, he'll be learning that how he got to position himself a little bit better not to, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a position that you want to develop players in, especially when we play with 3 in midfield with an attacking central midfielder. So not too much to say on that one, but it would be good to see us bringing you through the ranks. And I honestly, I don't want to act like we're more informed than we are on this one. No. We might have a bit more information on a player we'll link with slightly later on. I've also just realised that I'm shooting this in 60 FPS because of the Wednesday career mode. So when we put our frame rates together, that's going to be...
Oh, that could be fun.
Fun.
Oh, yeah. Talking of the FIFA career mode, it back. Get your likes up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. People going, drop the like total. I'm like, no, just like it. It's one button.
It doesn't cost you anything. It helps you get the thing. It goes, oh, here's your next episode. Also, Vardy Regen, have a look for him. Yeah,
I know. You're irate. Don't jump the queue. I saw your comment. Just because you're a Talking Wednesday co-host doesn't mean you can jump the queue of comments. Everybody's got fair chance, fair game in those videos, sir.
To be fair, I rarely comment on your FIFA one because I'm like, I nick some of your ideas and use it in my own squad.
Yeah. Everybody suddenly put Patterson at centre-back.
I didn't. I sold him.
Did you?
Yeah, I sold him to Hearts.
Bad idea. So Jordan Storey has been talking about potentially staying with Sheffield Wednesday. So this is from Lancs Live. Storey said, and quote, "You never say never in football. I've still got a few years left at Preston. Football is a mad sport. There is no reason why it couldn't happen. I'll just take every game as it comes and see how it comes at the end of the season. We'll see what happens in the summer. If it happens, it happens. From the very first moment I stepped into the building, the staff, the players were really welcoming to me. That always helps when you move somewhere new. I've enjoyed my time here, and it helps when we pick up good performances along the way. I've only got good things to say about the club." End quote. I'd love to see Jordan. Yeah, because the thing is, people go on.
I was going to say the same thing. Go on,
no, go on. No, I'd be interested. We might have different takes on it.
We got the situation. I think this was a situation. We needed a centre back, and we knew we could get him. And I think this was the case. Is let's see what he can do in this period from January till the end of the season, and then if he fits in well, we can spend money next season and just put a bid in. Yeah. And go right here. You go. We want him for this amount of much, and I don't even think it'll matter if we're still in League One next season, because I think we can use that as a building block. We can go, this is what we're building. We're building defence, and then we know what we need next season. We need forwards. We need more consistent attacking thing. You look at what the likes of Wigan and Rotherham do. They score a lot of goals. The one thing we haven't done this season is score enough. When we are defensively solid, we are very good at the back, and we've got that midfield that ticks and just keep going for us. So I think it makes sense as us going, right, we need a player, but maybe the one that Darren Moore said, if he does well, could I have some money for him in the summer? And Chansiri is in the country at the minute.
Yeah, he is. What's been said is I've seen a lot of fans talking about what is championship standard. We won't be able to sign a championship standard player. For one, we could be in the championship next season. And two, I'm not necessarily sure that Preston back him as championship standard. If they've played him that much and still send him out on loan, they've got better options. So there is a chance that Wednesday could sign him, especially if he really beds in here. He's 24, and we want a younger centre back to bring in with the experience. We've got our experienced centre backs. There's a chance that Iorfa doesn't stay with us still, because we don't know where he's gonna sit when he comes back in with us. He might want a fresh start somewhere.
Well, he's on a big contract. He's on a long contract. He only just signed a new one, so it'll be interesting.
But Iorfa and Storey in the centre back positions going forward, that wouldn't be too bad, would it? If you're playing a back four, that. And
then if you want to give Hutch that 1 year contract, let's see what you can do and come off the bench, because I think Hutch is a good player to have in, and I believe, or I know, I can't remember. He has done his coaching stuff. He was a coach at Chelsea. He's already done his coaching, so it would be interesting to see if they turn around to Hutch and say, look, why don't you come and be a coach as well and keep in that kind of dressing room thing and morale? Because I think Hutch is a big character and get players up for games like Barry, Barron and Dudley and Patterson. I think that having them as someone as a coach could be ideal. And
you've got Dunkley as well, though, don't overlook. Yeah. Like the fact that we've got that, but it's a case of you've got to keep them all happy as well.
And
but I still think, You've got Iorfa though, right? Iorfa can actually sit in front of the back three as well, back two as well. So he could sit in that sort of like anchor position. He's done that before and come out through the or sit in a back three in the middle of it and come out. So having depth there with injuries, 4 centre backs for me, 4 solid centre backs. Hutch, the injury prone one, Story, Iorfa, Dunkley.
Yeah,
that's the basis you really want to go with. You want to have 4 that
and
you can
bring in
rotate in
Brennan.
and out. And then bring through Brennan who can do pretty much, and that would be an ideal situation.
Yeah.
So I would be open to it. We'll talk more about that at the end of the season when the rumours fly around whether he actually will stick around or not. Moving on. So the Star were doing a little bit about Darren Moore's interview, saying he'd taken influence from Gary Megson and things like that. We were going to make that into a topic. It's not really a topic for our podcast, but there's some interesting stuff in there if you want to see, like him talking about his influence under Gary Megson, with the Wednesday link there. But we don't really need to talk about.
It's interesting that he just still keeps in touch and just go to him to ask stuff. And I think Megson probably likes coming back into see things and just talk and have a chat because he's a Wednesday.
Yeah, he is. The one thing I always got about Megson is he's on gardening leave for ages, right? You know, and I'm like, so our club are still back. He's a proper Wednesdayite, you know. Do you know what I mean? But like, I was like, financial troubles, and we were still gardening leaving him. I don't know. That's the club's own decisions for sacking him, and there's all that there. Let's move on from that one though. Good to see that he's still got an influence within the club, and Darren Moore's obviously got a relationship with him because of the ties from West Brom and that. Yeah. Right. Sheffield Wednesday are linked with Bradford City's. Is it Paddy O'Connor?
I think it's Paddy.
Yeah, even though it's spelt with
a U.
A U. Okay, yeah, but I don't even want to go down pronunciation street today. Yeah. This is from the 72.
And the article is from the Star in the 72.
Right, okay, then. We should have just gone straight to the Star source then, mate. When you put these in, you know this. Yeah, that's fine. So, we're linked with, we'll just say Paddy O'Connor for now, because why not? He's 24, he's a centre-back, he played for Leeds, and this is a quote from the article from the 72, so whether this is from the Star directly or whatever, it's just that, we'll just, whatever it is. Quote, this season in League Two, O'Connor has featured 35 times in the league and scored 3 goals. He's been a mainstay in the side for the past 2 seasons, but the club have no doubt struggled in League Two this time around, with Derek Adams having been sacked earlier in the year and replaced with Mark Hughes. Bradford currently sit 15th place in the table and have lost their last 5 in the league now. But O'Connor could be handed a League One lifeline in the summer, with the Star claiming Sheffield Wednesday is weighing up a move for the Irishman in the summer when his Bradford City contract expires, end quote. So we've just been talking about centre-backs earlier in the podcast, and we're linked with a centre-back here. We do know a little bit more about this player than the player we were talking about earlier in MacIver or whatever it is. Not MacIver?
MacGyver.
Yeah.
MacGyver.
Yeah. Yeah, I've already forgot. Jesus Christ, Jake! Jake just belched on camera, and I'm not having that in a podcast.
No.
Dude.
35.
Dude. And this is probably going to be a breakout as well, just so all you casual viewers of the channel know what I have to put up with on this channel. Right.
I haven't done it in a while.
No. But you could just not do it into your microphone, couldn't you? Or mute it. Right. O'Connor, 60. I'm going to go through the FIFA card first, because why not? 63 rated. He has got 63 rated as a bronze. So that's fantastic for us. 51 pace, Jesus. 21 shooting, 39 passing, 46 dribbling, 62 defending, and 77 physical. I love talking about the FIFA cards when they exist. Not the best, but 24, you could probably, you couldn't really use them. We've got better centre-backs on FIFA. But in terms of real life, what do you think about this one, Jake?
If you're thinking about it in terms of this, it makes you wonder, would this be someone who may replace Hutch? With Hutch, age-wise, he's starting to get that point, you don't know how many more games he's got left. So maybe bringing in someone in younger.
Yeah, but you also say that like potentially we don't sign Story if we're bringing this guy in on a free because they're the same age as Story. So we were talking earlier about keeping Story.
It is interesting how Chansiri said that even though we can spend money in the summer, we can still we're still maybe looking at free because we've done quite well with it. And I think he trusts Darren Moore and the recruitment team with what they can find, especially this season. I think it's shown him that if there is a player we need to spend money for, we can do, but he knows that there are players out there that can come in to this team and not cost the world and be able to just fit in. And I think Chansiri is starting to learn that kind of, we don't have to spend mega bucks to make it work. And in one sense, us having the transfer embargo this season actually helped him see what we can do and see what, because the teams that for years don't spend much money, but they find free agents out of nowhere, or Reading were a classic example. They just used to go to Ireland every season. And every season you'd have random Irish player at Reading that they picked out of the Irish League, and he'd go on to be a belter of a player.
Well, if we can pick players like this and do the Reading line of sort of potential there, we need to start finding some gems, really, don't we?
Also, it's still really weird hearing Mark Hughes, Bradford City. I still can't get over that.
Well, we've had Bradford links recently anyway, especially with some of the stuff we heard that never came to fruition. But this would be an interesting player to see actually happen if it does happen. We need centre backs that are here on permanence. This will very much, for me, rely on the Story situation. I can't say I've seen too much of this lad, but he's a good age, and if he's been ever present in the league below where we currently are. The worrying thing you've got to say is, like, obviously Bradford are letting in goals if they're not they're underperforming this season. How much is that on him? But I would be interested to know what other Wednesdayites think and what Bradford City fans think of him. Is he a sort of player that's got potential there? 24 and a centre back though is a good age to bring through with the experience. As we said earlier, the experience we've got in the clubs with the likes of Dunkley, with the likes of Hutch. Hutch can show him how to get more red cards, things like that. We can really develop these players.
Hutch has actually, since he come back, have been very disciplined.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's fun one to say, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, it's been so nice not being able to play Hutch bingo. He's better at the back. He's a better centre back than he is in midfield, and we know I don't know. He
used to be very, very good at midfield, but I think at this stage, in terms of discipline, because he's not in that link-up position, right? So he's got more time to plan it out at centre back rather than just ending up going in late on somebody when he's running past. Yeah. So that's probably why. I
will say something. The summer's going to be fun though with the rumour mill and stuff, and we're going to have an episode which is going to be what's the story with Story.
Oh, that's picked up a little bit on Twitter as well. On Twitter, yes. People are trying to claim that as their own now, so I can't wait for that to be an actual chant and somebody else say they came up with it when nobody had ever mentioned that one, and then I said it. I can't wait for that to be stolen as. But I did say it needs to get going. We need to get that one going. It would be a good one. So I'd be happy with that, and you guys would know that where it came from at the end of the day. But yeah, let's see what happens with O'Connor. We need centre-backs here that want to build with the project that we're currently rebuilding. Could he be the one? We will see. Let us know what you think in the comments. The Star have been out with all the articles this week. We've got an update on Topsy the cat.
This is for Steve, because Steve's been asking a couple of times in the comments and what's happened with the cat. So I thought I'd find the actual thing.
We'd actually talk about that. I'm not talking about the cat too much. No. Come on. But he's back home.
Yep.
Okay?
He's back home. He'd been all the vet situation been fixed, and he's back home, and hopefully I can see some of the club fans have been going, he needs to come back be a mascot. He's like, no, he doesn't.
We've said this though as well. We talked about the cat. Why do people keep wanting us to talk about the cat, Jay? We spoke about the cat.
I don't know. It was just a very good feel-good story in a really bad week regarding cats.
Oh yeah. There's not a lot to cheer about, apart from the football, actually, which is nice. But in the world,
it's actually quite nice to cheer.
Right, let's look forward to the next couple of games before we go into our community section. Next match is Accrington Stanley. Accrington Stanley are currently on 49 points, 12th in League One. Their record is 14-7-15. Their home record is 11-4-4, 37 points. Their away record is poor, though. 3-3-11. 11 losses. Hopefully that's, for Wednesday's perspective, that's 12 losses come
And the
Tuesday
pitch
night on the
is
road.
looking a lot better now. And it seemed like
The Pigeons were loving the bird seed, weren't they?
Yeah, but it seems like they're actually putting
seed,
on the. Just realised what you said.
Yeah, not bird seed, the grass seed. Go on.
But they've been using the heat lamps on the pitch at last, and somebody said that's not been on for ages. So, and it looks like it is growing back. So let's see what happens. And yeah, one other thing with the whole groundman situation, like I did see on Twitter, people going, "Oh, he's the young lad." Donny's is only like 25, and he's up for an award for their pitch, so it can happen.
Yeah, it can. It can. No, is that what people were saying?
Yeah. People looking at his age and looking at where he's come from and stuff and going, oh, he's a young kid. You want a groundman to have like 30 years experience and stuff. And it's like, Donny's is 25 and he's up for an award for like how he kept the grass and how he looked after it. I'm all for this whole experience model, but sometimes you do have to go, look, people get older. You've got to see what's coming through. And we did have a period where we'd lost our head groundman. I think we've been looking for a new one. Let's just see what he can do. I think it sounds really weird talking about a groundman like a player. We'll see what happens in the summer when he's had to redo all the pictures and see how it beds in. God, that sounded weird.
Fair enough. Right, should we talk about Accrington Stanley? Oh, Verdane Oliver's got 8 goals for him. We need to watch out for him by the looks of it. Let's just see how he fares up when he comes to Hillsborough this weekend. Not weekend, midweek. Gillingham on Saturday. Their record is, they've got 30. This should be a win, but you know Sheffield Wednesday, don't you? They're 22nd in League One. Their record is 6-12-18. They've got 30 points, right? Their last match was a 3-0 loss to Bolton. Their record at home is 4-5-10.
They beat Gillingham. They beat Donny.
Okay, so this might be a 3 points out then. Okay. Yeah. You say that's not right. You brought this information in.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they beat Donny.
You were responsible for the stats this week, which is why I probably don't believe anything you've listened to in this podcast. No, that's mean. But
no, they beat Donny at the weekend.
Before this week, anyway, before the weekend, it was 4-5-10. Their home record, 17 points. Their away record was 2-7-8. They've won 6 matches this season.
Neil Harris is the manager there now, if I'm not mistaken. It's interesting because you look at that table at the bottom at the minute and it's Fleetwood are not having a good period. Gillingham, for me, are the one that could possibly get out of it.
Yeah, well, hopefully it doesn't start at the weekend.
Nope.
Keep an eye out for Colby Bishop and Ethan Hamilton, 8 and 6, and Harry Pell's got 6 as well for them. Sean McConville can assist. He's got 13 assists, so we need to have some. We need to. I wouldn't say Pell and Bishop. They've got 5 and 4. There's quite a difference between 13, 5 and 4. Watch out for McConville. Get somebody pressing him. Make sure you keep an eye on him because he's probably, again, if he can whip a ball in or get the set pieces, that sort of thing. We need to. I don't know if he's on set pieces, but 13 assists would imagine that they get some goals from set pieces. You know, so just keep an eye out.
It'll be good to see how we do with it because these are the games were all a bit like that when they happened. We're a bit on edge when we come against teams like this.
He's assisted nearly half of their goals. Jesus. They've scored 28 goals this season, and he's assisted 13 of them. That's nearly half.
Hell. Oh.
Right. Our Discord, not too many in our Discord this week. Oh, we had an email. I will check that in a second when we're talking about this. Maple Leaf wrote in and said, potentially a silly topic, but I don't think this is a silly topic. It says, who is your favourite football player that has never played for Wednesday?
Ooh.
Filling the air with my voice so you don't think your podcast just died.
I'll go with like Thierry Henry.
Okay.
I always loved watching him play. He could do something different, and he was a striker, but he also played as like an attacking midfielder. So he was always able to bring people in. And there was something about watching him play, which was just, he had that kind of arrogant, but not, if you know what I mean. And I like that in a football sometimes.
No, fair enough. It's
a tough one, isn't
it? It is difficult because it all depends on when you grow up and what kind of football is for you. Like, I didn't watch a lot of the Prem. I didn't grow up with Sky.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Match of the day.
And when we did get Sky, it wasn't Sky Sports.
No.
So it was sort of like I wasn't one of those Prem kids. Wednesday was kind of my it was my football. Yeah. So I didn't watch a lot of the Prem, so a lot of the stuff was Wednesday and it was England.
Yeah.
So it probably would be the likes of, I really liked watching Rooney because it was the chance of actually, what England doing something, and that's where the excitement came in. And yeah, as a kid, it would have probably been like Rooney.
Yeah.
But as I look back on stuff now, and now I can watch it, like if I was to pick someone more modern, the excitement of watching, Ronaldo play for me is just.
To be fair, I love watching Saka play at Arsenal. I think he's really quality, and
I really like watching Salah at the minute as well. Like Salah is just the way he beats people. It's like when Messi, you watch Messi. I'll be honest.
Don't watch Messi now. It's not fun to watch.
Yeah, but watching like when you used to watch Messi for Barca.
Yeah.
Against the big teams, and you kind of knew he was going to beat his man, and the defender knew he was going to get beaten, and he knew what he was sort of going to do, but then he still did it and still beat him, and that's what you kind of do with Salah. You know he's going to beat the man, and the man that's coming up to him knows he's going to get beaten, but you can't stop him.
I'm just saying, Saido, if you want to let Ronaldo know that he wants to come to a game and maybe sign a little 6-month contract when he's bored at Man United, wouldn't give it a miss.
Be a laugh, wouldn't it? Can you imagine the shirt sales?
Can you imagine Ronaldo and Vardy in the same team? Like, Sheffield Wednesday just decided to go sod it.
I still think Vardy should sign for Wednesday. I still think that should be sort of like a last sort of like.
Well, did you see that? I think Bradley Wright Phillips has retired, and he signed a 1-day contract with Red Bull so he could retire with them.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't. This email's from Phil Stark. He says, "Hello, Dex and Jake. Cheers for all the great content. I'm too old to use Discord, but I have a question for you that you could maybe feature. In my office, I sit with a gent that is a massive Rotherham fan, season ticket holder, and has supported them for longer than I have been alive. I, on the other hand, have been a Wednesday fan since I was born 30 years ago. His opinion is that if for whatever reason Rotherham were to drop out of the automatics, he thinks if we were to face Rotherham in the final of the playoffs, Wednesday would slaughter Rotherham. He believes this so much that he is specifically booked to be out of the country on the weekend of the playoff final.
That's a bit extreme.
Like you and I, he doesn't see the rivalry between the two clubs. Apparently Rotherham hate on us, we hate United, and United hate Rotherham. I don't know if I agree with that one, Phil, because United and Rotherham seem to have a little bit of a loving.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on the result of a Wembley final. I still think Rotherham would win. What do you think? Who else do you think we would or wouldn't beat of the other teams in the current top 10? Keep up the good work and cheers for all the info, news, etc. We're all Wednesday, aren't we? Thank you for the writing, Phil. That's a writing. I appreciate these sort of writings.
I don't know why that Rotherham fan's so worried that they will beat us.
I reckon if we play Rotherham now, we'd beat them. Because we'd have a bit in the teeth after last time.
Yeah,
you know.
true.
And if you think about it, we played better than Rotherham. They were just more clinical. We found the net now.
Yeah.
And Gregory's back. So I'd be a lot more confident going against Rotherham.
I wouldn't want to play Plymouth.
So let's talk the top 10 then. I'm just making sure that's not the first spring wasp that's come in my office, and it is actually a lawnmower. It is a lawnmower. Cool. So the top 10: Rotherham, Wigan, MK Dons, Oxford, Sunderland, Plymouth, Wednesday obviously, Wycombe, Ipswich and Portsmouth. Who are you most afraid of out of that top 10 coming up against the
MK Dons or Oxford.
Theo, yeah, because it'd be written on for Theo to score against us with the MK Dons, wouldn't it?
And it would probably be written on for Winnell to score as well.
I wouldn't want Plymouth because Plymouth have been a bit of a
year.
Yeah, I wouldn't want Plymouth in the final. They've been a bit of a banana skin for us. I wouldn't mind Portsmouth, but we'll see what happens.
Got them last game of the season, haven't we? None
of them are really that fun. Oxford are just... I don't know, because Oxford we can beat, but they do tend to stick all the men, get a goal and stick all the men behind the ball. So we'd have to attack them quick and
I think we could. Goals. I think we could definitely do Sunderland over again.
Yeah, because Sunderland would attack us. That's the difference. When teams attack us, don't usually end well for them. It's usually the reason when we struggle is when they just come and park the bus.
Yeah.
I'd be confident of a Sunderland Wednesday playoff final. I'd go into that thinking this could be a proper final.
And that will be a proper atmosphere because both sets of fans would take a massive amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to the other teams. It's just that's the size of the clubs.
That'd be a hell of a final. That'd be tasty as a final, wouldn't it? Can you imagine?
And then that's when we find out Chanseri's got the Netflix's Sheffield Wednesday Till I Die documentary sorted.
Yeah, oh God, can you imagine the cameras behind our scenes?
I'm looking forward to watching Arsenal.
And the groundsman has forgot to turn the heat lamps on, but we're not telling the public. No, we don't think that's what's happened, by the way. We're just thinking, just saying.
Like a thick of it episode.
Chansiri forgot to fill the meter. It could be.
Never going to get players on here again.
No, I don't think. I think if players want to come here, they can come on here. Yeah. We're not like one of them podcasts who lies to get players on or does that or something. We're very, genuine with it.
Yep.
Okay, and I will end with the random topic I didn't start with that Soph put in the document last minute. Completely off topic from football, so you can switch off now if it doesn't take your fancy. But she says, Black Cat or MJ? So we're talking Marvel again here. And I don't know what she means in this context here. Does she mean what's the better character? Does she mean which one do we find more pleasing to the eyes in terms? Or is this going rogue now? Is she put me in a spot here?
Is she testing you?
Oh, she knows it's Black Cat.
Yeah, ditto.
She knows it's Black Cat, so for me, it's Black Cat. Yeah, that's the answer to the question. I've probably just fallen for the bait there. Yeah, that's it.
You're going to walk out the office and she's going to be like, really?
Yeah. Nah. It's just Black Cat, hands down, innit? Let us know what you think of that in the comments. But that's all I've got for this week's Talking Wednesday. Under an hour, but it doesn't feel like it's been under
It doesn't
an
feel
hour,
like it's been under an hour. It feels like it's a lot longer.
Yeah. I'm just getting tired of talking to you, clearly. It just drags, clearly.
It's the end of the season kind of thing. We're getting close to the end of the season.
No, it's probably because
we'll go and do pre-season. It's a bit where I come back and he's like, oh, sorry, I'll send you off on loan to another podcast for the season.
Nah, nobody else could put up with you, mate.
Yeah, true.
I'm being horrible to you today. But no, it's been good to talk. Yep. As we said, we're not going to drag these out. If there's not stuff to talk about, we're not going to drag them out. We'll do.
Sometimes it's a slow news week, and it was quite slow this week, but I found some decent little stories.
Yeah, no, it was good. Well done on the document this week, Jake. You did.
Apart from missing all the facts and figures and stats, yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, we put it together. I edited it, mate. I could have checked it, but I just trusted you. So I trusted you, and you did this. I'll stop being an arse now. I hope you're all well. I hope you all have a lovely week. You got anything to add?
Just enjoy yourself, stay safe, and it looks like the sunshine's starting to come out, so bring it upon us.
Yes, it will be. I enjoy this time of year. I like the sunshine. I enjoy it. I always like the sunshine, but I hate the insects. So
yes,
that's the thing. It's quite frustrating.
Wait until you've got a child. My child doesn't like flies or anything that flies. So this time of year is interesting because she screams and like she petrified of flies. I'm like, there's nothing I can do about them. They don't hurt you. And and her response is, yeah, but they're annoying. And I said, well, that's
wrong.
life. You'll find people that are annoying. And then you'll start a podcast.
She's like 4, Jake. You don't need to hit her with the life.
She's 4
facts.
going on 18.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's been it for this episode of Talking Wednesday. We will see you in the next one. See you later.
See ya.